okay, I told myself I would do this in 5 takes, and now we're on take 5, so I'm gonna roll with it. Thank you guys so much for inviting me here to speak at this year's Student of the Year ceremony. Although I'm not here in person, I'm still grateful to spread a message to you guys, even virtually. So before I begin, I was told that Dr. Rob, my high school math teacher, was here to introduce me, and I just want to give a moment to give thanks to her, as well as just shout her out for being an all-around amazing person. This individual was definitely a humongous role model to me throughout high school and even to now. She's very kind and caring and overall understanding, and she always pushed me to reach my goals. So I want to thank you, Dr. Rob, for being here. And students, if you have anyone in your life who is like Dr. Rob and always is there to make sure you're on track and helps you out whenever you need it, definitely cling to those individuals, because they're going to stick around for a long time and they'll always be there if you need to fall back on them. So let's get into it. So if you don't know me, hello, my name is Sedonia. I graduated from Fort Berry High School last year, and I was also last year's St. Landry Parish School Board Student of the Year. So like you all, I was in that moment of glory where I felt really proud of myself for having this achievement, and you should be too, because you worked really hard for it. And this is something that you should be proud of yourself for, no matter who tells you what. So, right now I want to give you a bit of applause for being here. Good job, guys. You guys worked super hard throughout school, whether it be grades or in extracurriculars or anything really, up to this point in your life. And this is something that you should bask in. You earned it. But, before we get too far in that, I kind of want to be here to bust, your bubble. So, for my topic here, I want to just kind of address this to you guys, and you're not going to like it, but one day you're going to fail. So, before you or your parents come after me or whatever, I first want to address that failure is not a bad thing. It's something that we all deal with, including myself. But, I guess because I dealt with it as such a shocking part in my life, I thought I should be here to tell you guys that it's going to be okay and kind of give you a bit of a survival kit on how to deal with failure. Because if any of you are like me, I know all of you are very high achieving and you grew up in a constant state of praise. And again, these are things you earned and you worked really hard for it. But there's going to become a time where you won't earn praise, you won't earn the glory, you won't win the prize. And that is okay. Now, granted, it sucks a lot, but I'm here to kind of teach you ways and how to grow from it and what you can learn from it. So I'll tell you a bit of a story. So I'm a freshman here at Tulane University here in New Orleans, and I'm a STEM major. I know, pray for me. And I know a bit of a stagnant moment in my life was first semester here. I took a course called, as you know, general chemistry. Some of you may love it, some of you may hate it. I thought I loved it until I took it here. Mr. Reed, my high school chemistry teacher, could tell you that I did pretty well in his class and I loved the subject. It was one of my favorites. So entering college, I kind of had that big ego mindset. I was still coming down from the high of graduating with honors, having student of the year, all of this. I felt really good about myself. Nothing could stop it. COVID, nothing. So entering, I kind of assumed it's gonna be okay. Nothing could stop me. I'm the greatest. I can do this. Even if I felt intimidated coming to this PWI. But anyways, once I took this class, again, I prepared. It was a bit more challenging than I thought, but still, I was thinking nothing could stop me. Until the first exam, and I got my test grade back. Yeah, it was really horrible. I never made a score that low in my life. And I guess the first reaction was to cry. Did have a bit of a crying meltdown in my room, but it was fine, I'm okay. But initially, the first reaction, the first thought I remember whenever I saw my paper was, I'm not going to be a doctor, which seems extremely dramatic. But again, like you all, I'm sure, very high achieving, won so much that one of the first few times you lose, like, it's bad. And it might be different for you, but I know for me it was awful. It was so awful. But during that time of like dark thoughts of like what's gonna happen, despite this minor setback, there was still more moments for me to also self-reflect. Like, despite me feeling like a failure, I still felt like there was something I can learn from it. So if not for that F, I still would have had a big ego and wouldn't have learned what I actually wanted. So whenever I was sitting back thinking to myself, is this path really for me? Or like, I'm not smart enough, or I'm not this enough. I had to also like talk to myself and say, Sedonia, it's just a bad grade on a test. It's not the end of the world. Why are you feeling so upset over something that you could change on your own or won't even really affect your life in the long run? But that was because there was always that constant message that, you want to reach your goals. You need to work hard to do well. You need to do this and that. Success is the only answer. But I'm here to tell you that it's not. It's not. Failure is just as important as winning, no matter what people tell you. Of course, winning feels great and amazing, and it helps you get to the next step. But how would you know what you truly want or more about yourself if you don't fail? So during that time, I started venturing off on other interests, seeking out extracurriculars or extra help. Not only that, but it also taught me to be more open and reach out more in my community. Because before then, I was a very secluded individual who would not dare ask for help because I didn't think I needed it. But turns out I did. So I spoke with advisors, peers, and it was really helpful. Because not only did I learn the value of what I needed to do for myself that I constantly avoided because I just didn't think, I thought I was perfect or whatever, I learned the value of community and just being able to understand that there's individuals in this world who are there to help you. Because like I said before, if there is someone that is there to help you, build off of that. Don't deal with things by yourself. And whenever you're dealing with these things, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be tough, like as I mentioned before, but don't let it change course of what you truly want. So even though I failed that test, I worked hard and I didn't fail chemistry by the grace of God. And I'm still on the pre-med track as I truly planned, but now I feel like I'm a more well-rounded individual who has the resources needed to succeed. Because before, I didn't reach out to anyone because I didn't think I needed it. But because I eventually had to, I have a better support system. I have a better thinking process without thinking that I'm above all or high up or whatever. So whenever I do fail again, it won't hurt as much. And it's okay, because whenever I see individuals like me who feel bad because they may have failed a test or didn't get a research position or whatever, we build community between each other because we both can relate on this level, because again, like you guys, I know one day it's going to be a time where you really wanted something, but it didn't happen. And again, give that time and moment for you to self-reflect about what you truly want and what you can do to achieve that, even if it's not straight ahead, because no one's life path is just straight edge. It's going to be rocky. It's going to be really bumpy, and that's okay. So again, whenever you guys venture out after high school, whatever path you may lead, just know that it won't be easy. And you're going to endure things that are going to be really hard and challenging. And it's going to be a moment where you're thinking, like, how could this be happening to me? I never would have expected it. But just know that it's not something that you should or have to deal with alone. So definitely swallow your pride like I have. And it's okay if you get somewhere that you didn't expect it, because again, life is uncertain, so you never know what's going to happen. Okay, enough with the depressing talk now. But anyways, I want to reiterate how extremely grateful and honored I am to be invited here to speak to you all. I hope that whatever I said, it could be nonsense. has reached you and that you take heed in my advice. And again, just know that we're all going to do really well, even if there's setbacks. So never try to doubt yourself, and even if you do, it's only temporary, because at the end of the day, it's your life path. You're going to be where you're meant to be. So thank you, everyone, and God bless.